All right, so this number sense assessment is going to tell you what holes your students have that's kind of preventing them from being able to learn their facts. So down at the bottom, there's 4 different areas that we're looking at. So spatial relationships, kind of that subitizing piece. 1, 2, more or less, so students' knowledge of what's one more, what's one less. Okay, benchmarks of 5 and 10, so understanding the benchmarks of 5, so 5, 10, 15, 25, and then the ones of 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. And then also part whole, so understanding how things are put together and then how they are made whole. Okay, so what we're going to do, what you'll do on this assessment is the task is here. The materials, if you need any materials, are right here. Okay, the prompt that you'll say is right here. So this one says, show me 4 fingers. Okay, so each of those students' responses are based on a level. So the student would be a level 1 if the child doesn't show 4 fingers, if they show 2 or 1 or some other number. Okay, if the child can put one finger, if the child puts one finger up at a time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, then they would be a level 2. They're going to be a level 3 if the child puts all 4 fingers up at one time without having to count individually. Okay, so ideally we want every student to be at a level 3. So you notice, like, and you're welcome to take this form and do your file, make a copy, and then you can use this form yourself to track your students. Okay, you could put your students' names here, and you'll notice if I type a 1, like if a student got a level 1, it should turn red. Okay, but if I type a 3, it will turn green. Okay, so that's a color coding system for you to kind of help you visually see where your students are at. Okay, so once you've given this assessment and you know the weak areas of your kiddos, whether it be spatial relationships, 1, 2, more or less, benchmarks of 5 and 10, or part whole, then what you do to fill in those holes are these activities right over here. Okay, so these activities right over here, these are the activities that you use to fill those holes. So if you click on part whole, those are going to give you activities to fill that part whole if students are weak in that area. Okay, same thing for spatial relationships, 1, 2, more or less, benchmarks of 5 and 10. And then you'll notice in some of these activities, it does ask for a black line master. So any of those masters would also be linked right here. So let's look at the benchmarks of 5 and 10 folder, for example. So when you click on this, it's going to take you to a Google Drive folder that you can that has all of the activities in it. The activities don't go in a particular order. They're all more games. Because if you think back to earlier when we talked about how number sense can't be taught, it has to be caught. So these are all games that you can do with students. And like I said, they don't go in any order. It's just you're doing the ones that, fit your students' needs. You can really do any of them. They're all going to work on the same skill in that particular folder. So all of these games, for example, work on just benchmarks of 5 and 10. So again, you could choose any of these to do with your kiddos, and you could do them during, once a week, twice a week, whatever kind of fits into your current math structure that you have. So if I go ahead and open one up, let's do tool time, for example. So you can see the activities here for you. It's pretty scripted out. It'll tell you what materials that you need. Okay. Also things to look for as you're doing this with kiddos. And then ways you can reuse this game. So I want you to always think about and try to use games that we call evergreen games. So evergreen games are games that can be reused. So students don't have to learn the rules of a new game, but they can use the same game just with different skills. So example, memory could be used for addition skills. It could be used for subtraction skills. The game has the same process. It's just that they're working on different skills within that game. Okay, so hopefully this just enlightens your journey. Again, please feel free to pause it, go back, watch different parts, whatever is going to help you the most. And don't hesitate to email me, khudson@decalbcentral.net if you have more questions or ask Sarah Beth. Thank you so much.